Hello, all the Garbears around the world, and welcome to another edition of the Garbear Review. Welcome to a special edition, I should say, because I am happy to welcome my special guest. Whoa. This is Optimus Prime? I'm not gonna lie, I could have sworn you were taller.
And I thought you would be funnier.
Well, yeah, granted. But, okay, it sounds like you're a little having trouble there. Sound like Darth Vader over there. You alright?
I can't breathe in this thing.
Oh my god, it's Scott! Yes, Scott is here. He's one of my special guests, one of my best friends since, what, elementary school?
I think so.
Yeah. We are going to go over Transformers in case you haven't noticed behind us. Yeah, we're going to go over Transformers. So this should be a little fun. I did bring an expert. I don't know if you noticed, like, half of the stuff is probably not mine. But, Scott, are you ready for this?
Yes, I am.
All right. So, what did you think of the new Transformers? I should say Transformers, because it's the fourth one.
Right. Well, I liked it a lot, first of all, because of Transformers.
Right.
Second of all, there was no Shia LaBeouf. The human characters...
Well, that's always good. No Shia LaBeouf is usually
definitely.
good.
No more screaming Optimus or Bumblebee.
Correct.
I thought the human characters were a bit better. Usually they're a little annoying.
Right.
They weren't as pandering this time.
Now, Nicole Pelt, who's like the new girl in this because Megan Fox kind of dropped out unexpectedly, quote unquote. But she was actually kind of like annoying, and she didn't really help out as much the other girls did in the other ones.
All right. Well, in all of them, the female characters, this is Michael Bay movies. He's kind of a little misogynistic against women. I don't know. It seems like it.
It seems like, yeah. I mean, in Bad Boys alone.
Right. But in the first one and second one, Megan Fox's character, did stuff like she had her phone and everything,
right,
and turned to a robot by accident, and she's trying to help figure out what was going on when they first met Bumblebee.
Right.
In the second one, when they had the cube shard, she's like, okay, I have to go to cross country where you're in college to bring the thing so we can find out what's going on with the pyramid.
So basically, Nicole Pelt is pretty much useless in this movie.
Yes, all she did was yell for her dad and nothing else.
Pretty much. And not to mention, I actually did like the cast in this. I like that they brought in Mark Wahlberg. I'm a huge fan of Wahlberg.
Yes.
I did enjoy T.J. Miller, even for that split-second spoiler, considering it's on DVD right now.
Yes, T.J. Miller was very funny. Mark Wahlberg, who was a lot better than Shia LaBeouf, he did have a few hokey lines, but
yeah.
it's
probably
funnier when you hear it from him.
Yeah, I mean, it's also because of the writing, I'm guessing. They're really shitty lines in this movie.
There's a lot of really weird line readings.
Yes. I also enjoyed since the Michael Bay film and since all the Transformers always look amazing. The CGI is incredible in every single one of these films.
Right. I was watching a bonus feature on the new one, and they were talking about like the first beginning of the movie isn't completely action-packed like the other ones. That way they can build up to the end where there's a lot of big set pieces when they're on like lockdown ship and then with the Dinobots.
That's kind of interesting. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool. Now, do you think with Michael Bay's track record, do you think this story is going anywhere? I mean, the first two alone, they kind of like break it up, and then the third and fourth are on its like own little adventure.
Oh, the fourth one in the beginning, they hint at the creators that created the Transformers.
In the first one you're talking about, right? Or no,
in the fourth one,
yes.
Which in the cartoons they were known as the Quintessons. They showed them in the animated movie in the 80s.
Okay. And
then they created the Transformers as their workforce. The Autobots were actually their workers. The Decepticons were their soldiers.
So what you're saying is that Michael Bay may actually bring in new characters.
Yes,
completely.
from the cartoons, because I read they might bring in like Rodimus.
Okay, so that should be it. Now, a big one. Everyone is talking about this on the forums. We need to know about Unicron. Do you think he's going in this direction, especially with only two more left he's going to do?
Yes, there's 3 total of 6.
Right.
I read somewhere in previous times that they were going to do Unicron, but I don't know if they are now. They could, because in the third one they brought a whole planet in, and they could do.
They brought inside.
They can do the CGI for it. They can, because Unicron is the size of a planet.
Right.
And I think they should, because I don't know what other stories. And if they're talking about taking from the original cartoon and stuff, then they might do Unicron. I hope.
I really hope. I mean, that's what I've been waiting for since like pretty much the first one. I mean, I was hoping there would be mentioning or maybe some like little features in there, but nothing as of right now. So, but I think you and I are pretty hopeful for Unicron.
Yes, I would love to have Unicron.
I mean, if you actually look at Marvel, they could have done Galactus, but they still haven't done that either. So
they kind of did the Cloud, and you saw the helmet in the shadows, which is cool.
So we're still waiting on that as well. Now, all in all, do you think Transformers has, like with the last two, do you think it's going to do well? Especially with Mike Bay's track record.
Well, despite people criticize them or think them they still go to see them. I'm still going to go to see them.
Of course.
Even he said, like, no, which a little annoying I found him, that Michael Bay said, like, no matter what I do, you're still going to see it.
Okay.
I mean, you should still have some respect for the characters, which I think he has respect for the material.
Okay. All right, so there's hope.
He likes doing action. He's very good at it.
All right. Now, about the fourth one, I really did enjoy that they were doing Dinobots. As soon as I saw the trailer, and I know you did too.
Yes.
We were talking about this, and the Dinobots is the best bet to do in any movie, really, in any Transformers movie, or any show, really. Because it was part of our generation. It was 90s.
Yes.
We were 90s kids, and we loved that. Now, with Dinobots, unfortunately, it only went, I think, 2 hours and 15 minutes into the film we saw them, so we didn't get to see a lot of them.
Right.
I was kind of a little PO'd.
A lot of the trailers are with the Dinobots.
Right.
So you do have to wait a good 2 hours till you start talking about Dinobots.
Right.
But,
and then you see them in the ship, though, like, every so often, right, or no?
They were in the robot forms in the ship.
So you can't really tell unless you.
And they're considered the Sentinel Knights, which is what Optimus is part of, which they'll maybe get into the next one more about their creators.
Okay.
But the Dinobots were pretty awesome. In the cartoon, there were 5. They only had 4, which is not a big deal.
Right.
They had Grimlock. Slag was the Triceratops. Grimlock was the T-Rex. Swoop was the pterodactyl, and they had kind of combined the Brontosaurus and Stegosaurus. I like the colors the way they looked.
Yeah, the like I said, almost all the Transformers, despite of what you might think of them, they look amazing. The CGI is incredible with all of them, especially now with the Dinobots. And of course,
Grimlock breathes fire like in the cartoons, and
that was just awesome.
Yes,
as well.
It would be cool if they talked, but I feel like it's better that they didn't.
It seems like I do agree with you that
they're more like primal cartoons.
Yeah, they seem to have their own like weird language with Optimus. They seem to like understand, kind of like Stewie and Family Guy.
Yes, because even in the movie when Shift, there was the robot dressed as samurai.
Mm. Ken Watanabe.
Yes.
Character. Okay.
So he was even like, I expect to turn to a giant car. Even they were surprised that they turned into dinosaurs.
So all right. So again, there's a lot of hope with the fourth one, especially with the new cast and kind of like a new story if you think about it.
Yes. I hope they bring Mark Wahlberg back again. He was fun.
Yeah. He was a very big surprise in this, despite the real shitty dialogue in this one. Yeah.
And there was a lot of product placement in the movie. Oh, and the movie's first half, it takes place in like Texas / America, you know.
Yeah.
It's the same place. And the second half's in Japan. In the first half, in almost every shot at the beginning, you see an American flag somewhere.
Yeah. I actually noticed that. I was like, we've seen this at least 4 times, I think, right? Maybe 5.
Because the plot is it's 5 years after the third one when the Decepticons attack Chicago and everything, and they're like, now the government doesn't want to be associated with Transformers anymore.
Right.
So they're trying to hunt them down.
Now, despite the main cast, there was actually a lot of subcast here. There was like big names like Kelsey Grammer, Stanley Tucci.
Yes. As one of the robot voices, which I didn't realize till afterward, John Goodman.
Yes, John Goodman was one of the voices. Like we said before, Ken Watanabe plays one of them as well, and of course the epitome of Transformers,
Peter Cullen.
Peter Cullen plays Optimus Prime because you can't have the Optimus without Peter Cullen.
He was the voice in the original cartoon, some of the later ones like Prime, and even that Rescue Bots. He does his voice, and most of the recent video games.
You can't replicate that voice.
Yes.
He is Optimus Prime.
And,
so I was really happy.
And side note, he is also the voice of Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh.
Yes, that is true, and such an odd character fluctuation.
Yes.
But yes, so I actually thought that Stanley Tucci's character and Kelsey Grammer, they were kind of like not really relevant. I mean, you couldn't mention them. They just had to seem to have really small parts.
Yeah, Stanley Tucci did have a lot of good comic relief in the second half of the movie.
Yeah, I would definitely agree, especially when they're in Japan.
Yes.
I started to like his character a little bit more.
Yes. And Kelsey Grammer was, generic evil bad guy.
Yeah, it was classic Grammer.
And then he gets shot by Optimus Prime.
Spoilers.
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 Spoiler. By the way, this movie came out in June, so if you haven't seen it by now, sorry, but you're gonna watch it now, I'm sure.
So now that it's out on DVD, pretty much all the reviews are out. We were a little late on this little escapade.
Yes.
Because of scheduling. But all in all, do you think Transformers? Would you recommend it to see to anybody if you're not a Transformers fan?
If you didn't like the previous ones, or at least the second and third one, you may like this one better because Shia LaBeouf's not in it.
True.
If you're a Transformers fan, depending on, I know a lot of fans don't like it. I personally do.
Check it out.
If you like explosions and effects and some funny dialogue. I think you should check it out.
Oh, and side note, some real cheesy slow motion in this one, by the way. Some like I could not stop laughing at the slow motion.
Yes, there's one
the
shot where a government agent, there's a lot of slow-mo in these movies, usually when robots fighting and everything, but there's one shot where a government agent is about to touch his earpiece to say something like this, and then we were watching the movie and a friend of ours yelled out, "That's why it's 3 hours," and that was hilarious.
Yes, we established that it was 3 hours because there's a lot of
bit
slow
of
motion.
Unnecessary slow-mo, not all of it, but some of it.
All in all, I'd say it's actually a really good new start for this franchise. Because, in my opinion, I think it's actually a nice little start because the other three.
Yes, I'm glad they got rid of a lot of the previous characters from the previous one. Shia LaBeouf was getting annoying and pandering.
All in all, I'm personally recommending, especially if you love the franchise, even if you love the cartoons from beforehand, you'll definitely enjoy it despite the shitty dialogue.
Yes.
Same thing with you?
Yes, because the movies are about the visuals, not really about the dialogue.
Exactly. So, also, make sure you guys stay tuned for our next adventure. I believe it will be This Is Where I Leave You with Jason Bateman, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Scott, is there anything you want to plug? Your Instagram account, your Facebook account, what? Do you have a Twitter?
You can follow me on Instagram, JohnnyQuest123 455 That was a typo.
All right, we'll leave a link in the description below. Make sure you guys follow us. Like, subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
Subscribe to his channel. Again, I'll leave a thing in the below.
Yes.
Bye.
Transform and roll out.
Yes.